Presented in a College Board stimulus, how to build resilience in the future using ancient wisdom provided that the Tofino tribe in Benin, Africa had to become resilient as the floods in Lake Nako rose and they had to build a city over this lake. Now this goes to show that a low-state tribe in Africa being climate resilient should inspire a high-developed country such as the United States to become climate resilient. Now, you question, what exactly is climate resilience? Climate resilience is the act of anticipating, preparing, and recovering over a long period of time. Now, specifically, when you anticipate, you are taking actions needed to watch and track the natural disaster. And preparing is taking the actions needed to become ready for the impacts. And recovering is a long process of restoring the community to its normal state. Good morning, my name is Andres Cervello, and this is Climate Resilience in the 21st Century. Now, this leads to our question, should the U.S. Department of Homeland Security enforce climate resilience to combat natural disasters in the 21st century? Now, it's important that the U.S. Department of Homeland Security should enforce climate resilience to combat natural disasters in the 21st century because recent data has shown a lack of resilience to hurricanes, a lack of resilience to floods, a lack of resilience to droughts, and long-term solutions can help us defend these lack of resiliences and help the communities become more climate resilient to these dangerous natural disasters. Now, some possible solutions are to approve climate resilience policies, to improve infrastructure, and to reduce climate change crisis. Now, to begin with, lack of resilience to hurricanes in the United States. Now, over the last 15, 20 years, it has shown that 5 major hurricanes have caused major economic losses, and these 5 major hurricanes have averaged over $50 billion in economic losses to these communities. Now, this goes to show that these major economic losses will lead these communities to struggle over time, and it will take a long time to recover this major economic loss and invest further to help these communities become more climate resilient in the future. Now, second, provided by College Board stimulus, shows that Caribbean lizard populations have displayed a larger toe pad area, crucial for clinging to surfaces after 2 major hurricanes in 2017. Now, this goes to show that animals such as the lizard became adapted to this natural disaster, specifically the hurricane, and this should inspire communities in the United States to become more climate resilient. Now, this can be done through building methods and implementing many solutions. Second is the lack of resilience to floods. In this chart provided by the National Oceanic Atmospheric Administration shows that in 2019, the most recent year other than 22, you can see a major increase in this blue line of averaging of $23.4 billion in economic losses to floods that year throughout the month until the end of December. Now, this goes to show that that many communities and that many coastal communities and people surrounded by bodies of water can be put into risk as many floods occur in these areas, and then these communities and people surrounded by bodies of water can lose major economic losses because they are not resilient to these floods. Now, on the other hand, these economic losses can be saved and invested to prevent further losses in the future. Additionally, in a different report by the National Weather Service, Jetstream found that at least 80% of New Orleans was under floodwaters on August 31st, and as a result of the leaf failures in the first picture, you can see that a lot of water has broken into the wall and caused major flooding to these communities. Now this resulted into leaving major parts of New Orleans under 20 feet of water, as you can see in the second image. And this is bad because the flooded communities will have to go through a process of long recovering, of taking out this toxicated water and rebuilding infrastructure by returning the community to its normal state. And third is the lack of resilience to droughts. According to the National Integrated Drought Information System, or NIDIS, the table presents major states in the Southwest region suffering droughts and losing millions of dollars throughout the years. For example, both California and Colorado show the highest major economic losses, ranging of $250 million to $500 million. And as a result, these states had to declare a state of emergency against droughts. And this is bad because many cities and native tribes who live in these regions will struggle to gain water sources, and it could lead to possible death. Now, this should lead the U.S. Department of Homeland Security to be involved and help these cities and community and native tribes to stay alive, as they are important for the society in the United States. Additionally, Volodymyr Milhuna from the Louisiana State University found that the exposure and number of weeks to droughts in the states of Texas, Oklahoma, New Mexico, Louisiana, and Arkansas. Now, the dark red spots shown around here throughout most of New Mexico and Texas show 99% exposure to droughts, and this will lead to states and counties in these regions to suffer because they'll have low access to water, and the ecosystems will possibly die, and food sources will also be low. Now, as a result, many communities in these regions will die over the years because the help of the Department of Homeland Security does not exist. Now, here are some long-term solutions to these major economic problems and environmental problems. First would be getting the United States President Joe Biden to sign the bill presented by the United States Department of Homeland Security on receiving funds and directions to become climate resilient and achieve a better preparation and recovery process. Two would be getting infrastructure and remodeling and rebuilding certain regions that will help withstand the impacts of these natural disasters. And three would be alternating to clean energy sources, as it will help with minimizing the strength and frequencies of these natural disasters. Now, with solutions come limitations, such as the United States President Joe Biden may want to veto these bills and favor other executive departments, and this will delay the process of helping communities become more climate resilient. Two would be being able to earn fundings and sufficient supplies to build these infrastructures and remodel the communities. And additionally would be getting enough workers to join these projects and helping become more climate resilient. And third would be that shifting to alternative energy sources will not meet the energy demands in the United States, as fossil fuels are the major energy source in the United States, and these alternative energy sources do not meet the energy demands in the United States. Thank you, and these are my excited page.
All right, two questions for you. First up, what evidence did you gather that you didn't use, and why did you not use it?
So when I was looking into my research, I found evidence on wildfires and earthquakes now in the southwest region of the United States. Now, specifically, these two pieces of evidence did not work because there wasn't enough information on them as compared to floods, hurricanes, and droughts in the United States.
Okay, and if you had more time, what additional research would you have conducted?
If I had more time, I would conduct more research into these droughts and into these earthquakes and wildfires, as there are other crucial major natural disasters occurring throughout the United States, and this would help build and force my argument and help it make more sense and have a common sense of flow.